So finally, we have the CH-53E Super Stallion ready to go. This is a military transport helicopter, and it's a Reobrix set thanks to LesDiy for sending me this to review for free. And I'll be honest, Reobrix is kind of like an off-brand Chinese Lego. Even the pieces are like the same exact design. It is a fairly large set, over 2,000 pieces, and I have these pieces left over, which I don't know, I probably missed something in the instructions, with the exception of this curved piece, which I know goes underneath the nose, but I couldn't get it to fit quite right because it'll pop off because of the landing gear door. But anyways, let's go check it out from the front view. So in the front, we've got this long boom here. This is used for aerial refueling, but it does snap off quite easily. Then we have a 03 decal on the nose, and I've actually never seen this technique being used before where you peel back like a sticker, but it is quite nice. And here on the bottom, we have the landing gear door and the wheel. So you can actually move the aircraft back and forth with these wheels. Then here we have the FLIR infrared camera, more decals over here, the cockpit with the windows, and the inside there's a bit of interior with 2 seats. Here's a view of it from the front. You can see the engines on the sides, quite large, got an interesting technique to them. And apparently this aircraft has a third engine right over here, exhaust vent, decals. Now for this sidewall, it's actually kind of tricky placing this because if you look at it at the bottom, there's a bit of a gap, and that's because these two things are in different alignments, so you need to make them flush, but they're not. It's actually a bit frustrating to do, and I don't think traditional Lego would do something like this. So I couldn't get it exactly perfect and flush, so it is a bit of a gap. We have some safety warning decals here, nozzle in the back, and windows on the side, more decals, Marines, I don't know what these are, and this sort of wing part is where they store the landing gear. Then on the tip, we have this fuel drop tank. It does come off quite easily, and here's what it looks like detached from the front. Then here in the back, we have the tail section with the rear rotor. It's actually quite interesting, the building technique here. It kind of bends in a bit. Now the tail stabilizers are also quite interesting because it actually goes on an angle here, and this beam supports the horizontal part. The tail rotor does spin quite freely, unlike the main rotor, which is quite stiff, but it does rotate. Then at the bottom we have sort of this landing support leg here. In the back of the aircraft you can lower down this ramp so you can actually see the interior. There's a lot of red seats and it's quite shiny. It actually reminds me a bit of like a Lego render, like CGI. And you can imagine you're flying this helicopter from the back view. I should note it is actually quite heavy. So here's how it looks like from the other side. This side support is actually quite stable, won't really fall apart. And we have this red beacon on top. Very cool. And over here there is this hinge that sticks out, and that's because you can actually fold the tail, so that's pretty cool to make it compact. And here you can see how it is designed. There's this Technic piece that holds it in, and if you want to put it back, just do it the other way around. I don't think I really showed this before, but there is this other door over here on top. So this part over here is a bit different from the other side. Got decals. And then we have this thing that sticks out. I have no idea what that is either. Then we have this green navigation light just to show the orientation. The other side is going to be red. And here's a view of it from the top. So if you want to transform it into flying mode, you would just retract the landing gear, close the landing gear doors, as well as the doors in the back. So now it looks like this and it's flying. And this build is quite massive. It's around 32 inches from the front to the back. But yeah, overall, it's a pretty cool build, the CH-53. If you guys want a Lego model of it and you don't want to pay $1,000 for genuine Lego from Brickmania, which isn't even in stock anyways, you can get this from LesDiy for under $100. Now, it's not perfect. It does have some flaws. When I was building it, the Reobrix pieces are actually quite hard to press in together. By the end, my fingers were actually quite sore, also because it's a large set, a lot of 1x1 pieces, and sometimes parts won't fit in flush, so there's going to be cracks, so you have to press really hard. And later I found out, it's better to build the roof separately to this thin piece instead of this bottom layer. And if a piece falls off from the inside, it's actually quite hard to put it back in. Also, if you look in the instructions, it was a little bit hard to tell apart the colors because everything's kind of grayed out. For example, if you see this lime tile piece here, right there, then it just turns gray. I think it would be helpful if they just stayed the color they actually are instead of graying them out like actual Legos. Also, one of the hinge pieces kind of broke off, so now I have these two things, but it doesn't seem to actually matter because you don't really rotate it. I guess it's just a support piece. The rotor blades only go up and down, so you can sag it. The instructions also had bad color because if you look here, it looks black, but later I found out it's actually supposed to be brown, which is this color, and apparently the difference between brown and black, the black pieces would have an outline. LesDiy also sent me these builder tools. I didn't really use this one, but I did use the pliers. It was helpful to putting pieces together without breaking your fingers or teeth. I didn't really use much of the blue one though. I think it would make for a great display piece. It has a lot of details and features, and it's actually relatively affordable than compared to Lego, and it's relatively sturdy. The only weak points would be the boom and the external fuel tanks on the sides. It's actually quite a difficult set to build. It took several days to build this, so probably I would recommend this if you're like an older teen to adult. I made so many mistakes while building this model, and you also have to be careful aligning the decals because once you put it on, you can't really adjust it, and make sure to peel it. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this video. I just want to experiment what it's like to get this off-brand Lego because I never had one, and I'm sure as hell not gonna get another Brickmania because that's like $500 or something. And now you guys can know the details about this. But yeah, if you guys enjoy this video, hit the like button down below, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.